Don't do drugs, kids. Do not do drugs.
A world
Okay.
where Lumi is CEO and the boss, apparently.
So it's the WoW.
It was all about the WoW.
It's the WoW that made BTS. Is that
Made
what it's-
LD's career.
Wow.
Left, right, and center.
I mean, wow.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Wow, that phase shift dodge, huh?
I gotta say,
was
Lumi
something.
did it with even more conviction than LD did. I think they were trying to get Lumi to do it just as almost overhyped, but he actually still did it even better. But shoutouts to, of course, Dicktown and LD and everyone participating in that bit. It was a lot of fun, and there is more to come. More time travel and drugs. Lots of drugs.
That's all we do here.
That's how we survive. Is there toilet paper on the desk over there?
Yeah,
Well,
I need to blow my nose into something.
Oh, a lot of people here are sick.
All right.
Lacoste has been really happy about the NA qualifiers so far. you know.
Yeah, I've got sick from all the hype.
Well, we got some hype coming up right now. Team Freedom versus Complexity. Freedom.
No, Bane.
Oh God, Lacoste,
I was like, what
favorite
do you-
hero. Lacoste, you want to go over all the reasons you hate Bane again?
Yeah, for those who didn't watch the match yesterday when Navi played it, I mean, the hero is one of the best heroes for the first 3.5 minutes. Then the hero falls off, does pretty much nothing. Doesn't have any farm potential. He's the slowest farmer in the game, probably.
He doesn't really have an ultimate.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible to cast ultimate longer than 0.6 seconds. And that's pretty much it, what hero does. But
Those
it's,
are
it's
all.
good at bullying the lane, just getting some good setups. Navi also had Earthshaker and Bane off lane, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They
it's
enabled
a
the
good
Earthshaker
setup.
with the Bane.
Sleep into Ancient Totem, Brain Sap, and Fissure. That's a lot of damage.
But it's not like the Bane is the only hero that could enable the Earthshaker dual offlane, right? So, what are some good things about Bane, Charlie, Dakota?
It's.
Anybody got anything for it?
I mean, yeah. There's almost no hero that fights it at level 1. Like you cannot trade with that hero when he has Brain Sap at level
Yeah,
1.
that's it.
Past 3.5 minutes, let's say.
Okay, past 3.5 minutes, I would say that you do tend to get your ulti off longer than 0.6 seconds. That does happen. It's an ulti that goes through BKB.
Yeah.
If you have to use a stun or something to stop Bane ulti, that's a stun that's not being used on a carry or something. Enfeeble can also be really annoying against like certain stat-heavy heroes, especially with the talent. So there are some Bane positives out there.
I think most of the Bane positives are like core specific, like enemy core specific,
Yeah.
right? If it's like, oh, there's a naturally magic immune hero like Juggernaut or Lifestealer, then Fiend's Grip has more value because of it. Enfeeble is only good against certain cores, right? And I think that's part of the problem with Lacoste's early pickup of the Bane is that he doesn't feel like the hero is strong enough to be able to be picked in a first 1-2 when you don't actually know what cores are being picked
Yeah,
up
wha-
and
what
whether or not your ultimate and your feeble are going to be
Yeah,
effective.
one of the strongest sides of the Bane are that enemy team doesn't actually expect that you're gonna pick the Bane, so there's the surprise effect. Yeah, but okay, let's be real for a second. They might go for, let's say, Invoker on mid. It's a good setup for a Sunstrike, and you can dominate the offlane with the Bane Earthshaker. With the help of Sunstrike, it's pretty much a tri-lane against the dual lane.
Fiero doesn't play any crazy stuff like Mirana, right? It's a swindle draft after all.
Well,
Nah.
we got the
Lina
Lina
is what
instead.
we've been seeing from him pretty much every game when available.
I mean, I like this. It takes it away from CCNC. Me and Cap were talking about this last night. That guy's Lina play has, I think, reached another level. It's not just his laning ability, but just every point of spell usage and when he decides to use what, like between Yule's first or stunning first, when he just goes for the Laguna LSA or Laguna Dragon Slave, and the way he picks his targets has been almost perfect every single time. Like, I watch him like when normally the disadvantage of Lina is that if somebody goes on you and gets on top of you, it's hard to get away. But ICC and CCNC, like, make it out of team fights or make it out of those situations with, like, maybe 1/3 HP every single time and still manages to come back into the team fight and have a lot of impact.
Yeah, we all know it's cool to hate, but I think it's time to stop hating CCNC after his amazing performance.
Yeah.
We need to find a new target.
That was
Someone
such
wants to
a-
volunteer. Dakota.
Well,
Do what?
Well, we got the original target in this game that everybody loves to bag on.
That's
It's
true.
Swindle Melons.
Swindle
Yeah.
Melons did lead his team barely through the tiebreaker after the first go. Ended up going 1-1-1. We had a second go this morning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, credits to Wheel. Like last qualifier, they're pretty much bottom of the barrel, and now they're like, you know, toe to toe with likes of DC and Complexity, veterans of the scene.
I hope they stick together. We'll see. I mean, I know it's tough when you're kind of at the tier and you're interchanging out. We see I Annihilate this time and Mad and such. So it's you want to continue to experiment and get some of these young guns on your team that are starting to make names for themselves. But I think they have a good thing going, and we'll see if they continue to get that kind of respect and see themselves in future qualifiers. But Ricky comes out for Complexity now, a Z Freak special. Means that this Earthshaker is certainly going to be in the off lane.
Yeah, it's a hero that we don't see too often in this current patch. The Riki has been picked up sometimes. The Bounty Hunter has pretty much never been picked up. Those more scout heavy and I would say more solo 4 positions. You know, Riki doesn't usually operate with the other support. Same goes with Bounty Hunter. Those have kind of been shuffled away in favor of some of these 4 positions. Still have some independence when it comes to roaming early on with boots first, but are still couple very well with their fellow support or like the offlaner or something like that.
See the Clinks picked up for Team Freedom. It's a bit of a new look there.
Yeah,
I think it's
not
kind
a
of your
common
war
pick.
hero.
After Bone was, let's say,
The Fletcher.
patched, it looked like he was nerfed, but actually that's a huge buff. I tried playing Bone for a few times. The duration, 65 seconds, you don't need to go to jungle. And I think the health gain increased, or the damage, not sure, but overall it feels like a more buff. You can roam around, use even 2 times invis and just try to get a pick off.
Yeah, it's the death pack changes that you don't have to use it as often, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you get less gold from eating creeps and XP because it has a higher cooldown, but I mean that was also nerfed in the previous patch, so I guess he's cool.
The Troll last ban out of Freedom looks like they still need to pick up probably their offlaner here. What is the Snake King hero?
Maybe a Tide Hunter wouldn't be bad. Bane doesn't affect him, can't lock him down, alright.
yeah, I think the Legion Commander also pretty acceptable. I think like the Lina again, it comes back down to that is the big problem hero on the side of Complexity. So that's where most of your draft is going to be oriented in countering. I think Clinks is pretty good versus Lina because he gets a relatively early BKB and gets direct physical damage onto the hero. And now you have the direct lockdown.
Yeah, I
of
mean
the Legion
Lina
Commander.
as a hero is kind of a little bit OP, but not in everyone's hands. You need to get the right items for it to be. CCNC yesterday showed how to build up correct Lina. I'll just try to summarize this patch. Top 3 OP things: Clarity Potion, especially Clarity Potion on Lina. Then there we have Lina and Heaven's Halberd.
So Clarity Potion, specifically on Lina,
Yeah,
and Halberd.
yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty.
There
I
it
think
is.
this is like this is annoying for Legion to play before he gets a BKB though. Like there's so many things to sort of mess him up.
Sleep
during
would
a
be
duel.
super annoying.
Sleep, Fissure, Cloud from the Riki.
Yeah.
He has to. I feel like before he gets that BKB Blade Mail, he has to go with +1.
It's gonna be hard to get the dual damage off against Sleep. It works so good. You hit him, then you sleep, then the other target sleeps until it lasts or
I mean,
someone
Enfeeble's
dies.
also annoying. Alright, so coL needs to pick up their safe laner.
Late game for sure, yeah.
What is the Moo hero
The
here?
What do we know offlane? They have Earthshaker offlane.
Swindle Melons has almost always played that.
Yeah, it needs to be Earthshaker offlane, Ricky, and Bane.
I don't think Sven's terrible here just because you'd have the better late game at that point. Sven Luna definitely beats out Team Freedom's cores, at least I believe. It is more of a self-sufficient hero, like it won't be threatened by Legion Commander manning up against you.
Razor.
Or the Razor instead, so more of a laning dominating hero. And more issues for the Legion Commander in this case.
Yeah, specifically Legion Commander, though. I feel like with Clinks and Queen of Pain, it's not as easy to get a hold of them. You're banking a lot in the Bane and Earthshaker setup.
But this gives Moo basically a free lane, and Demon and Z-Free can run around doing whatever they want. This is an awful Legion Commander matchup. One of his few.
But it is a good matchup for Clinks. Clinks is okay with Razor because he's just straight up, again, straight physical damage. He doesn't worry, he doesn't cast spells on you. Like, he's got long range as well. So that part I'm a little bit worried about because Team Freedom, they do have a very similar style every single time. They get this playmaking, scaling hero for CC&C in the mid lane, and they get a pushing style carry for UR for Team Freedom. And they're going to be able to take some of these early towers. There's no way that I think Complexity's dual lane can really threaten Clinks enough. So we could probably see that offlane tower being chipped away. And then the first couple rotations with Clinks, if you have CC&C get a successful team fight or pick off on somebody, then that turns into another objective. And I feel like the map can get really crowded for Complexity very quickly.
Sure.
Look at the position 4 and 5 heroes on Team Freedom. They have Sanking and Disruptor, the two heroes who does so much early game, scale well into the mid game, and are also good in the late game. These two heroes combined together can just win a team fight. You don't even need the other three heroes. And on the other hand, you have Ricky and Bane. They don't synergize well together at all. There's no synergy at all, and they don't scale that good, especially Bane.
It really doesn't like the Bane.
So you're leaning towards Team Freedom.
Well, maybe
Just
Jimmy
all the
can
way,
prove me
just
wrong. Let's see. I was talking about, I think it was Merlini, about position 4 Clockwork. I think it's overpicked, but in certain situations it's really good, especially when a player like Aoi plays it, then it's like a top-notch hero.
I think one of the big things is that Team Freedom...
Oh, nice dust.
So an early first blood, it looks like, unless someone of Melons can pull out a miracle. That is a really good Fisher block, and Flea is actually on the wrong side of things. They are going to be able to glimpse back Z-Freak. Flea is going to be able to get out of range of Moo's static link. No reason to pursue that one, so they do indeed get the first blood.
Unfortunately, he's got glimpse level 1, though.
Yeah, that's not great.
Francis Lee with the play right there. Dust, good timing.
I think that's okay, actually, glimpse level 1. I mean, especially for a kill. I don't think, like, he's not going to be able to square up against the Bane anyways. And Earthshaker is, like, high enough HP.
Bane's going to be on top.
Oh.
They're already getting a lot of static link damage on snaking.
This is the best spell at level 1, probably. Brain Sap, pure damage. What's the mana cost? 70 mana cost.
Yeah, it's so cheap now.
It was so... What was it before? I don't know. It cost 100,
It was
like
100
20,
something,
130
yeah.
mana.
Yeah, it was
Impossible
awful.
to cast 2 spells. Didn't have mana pool.
How critical is it for Snaking to have a good time? Because I felt like yesterday one of the downsides to Freedom's game where he had that puck offline setup was one of the few games where he suffered heavily in the laning phase. And because normally it's always been the CC&C show. He had a great game even in that loss, but Snaking really was not able to recover. So, is it kind of essential for Snaking to have a good time? If it doesn't work out from the lane against the Razor, should he just straight up jungle this one out? What should plan B be if it doesn't work?
Yeah, he can always go to the jungle. I think it is important that he has a good time here. Typically in the games where we've seen Freedom do well, Snaking's like doing really well in the offlane. He's like bullying their support, pressuring their carry, and it draws a lot of attention and allows Francis on his 4th position roamer to sort of do whatever he wants and create even more space on the map, and then that transitions into great lanes for everybody.
Yeah, he
But
was
that's
able
where
to do
we-
it with your spirit. Yeah.
That's where we go back to our safe lane pushing style hero for UR, right? So if the laning phase doesn't go well, and I think Legion Commander is probably one of the better offlaners at recovery, you have this recovery chance at like 15 minutes where the safe lane pushing hero comes in, takes towers, creates space, and
Right.
you're able to kind of make the comeback.
And I like Clinks a lot better than the Dro here. In the game that we
Yeah.
saw Freedom lose against MP, your War was on a Dro, and it's like if you lose lanes at that point and you're a Dro, like what do you do on the map? You feel like you don't really have a purpose. But as Clinks, you can still go around and work with your team to get pickoffs, snipe towers and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's gonna be a hard game for Kalinks. Actually, there's none of these heroes actually die easily. I mean, Bane can sleep him. Lina will be on mid, so she's gonna have some items. Shaker is pretty tanky. You can't kill Razor. You need to have a task to kill a solo Ricky. Plus, you need to see him first. It's kind of a hard game to pick off anyone.
I think there's a decent amount of space creators though for him. Like in the team fight, let's say there's both Sand King and Disruptor that are good controlling style heroes, and Queen of Pain that takes a lot of attention because of the way she kind of operates with her blink combo in the front lines. And then Legion Commander is obviously another frontliner or counter initiator in that regard. So I think like individually the hero matchup may not be okay, but I think the team fights will still be pretty good for Clinks simply because they do have a very good lineup built around Clinks.
Yeah, but the Legion Commander is not gonna come anytime soon. He's being bullied by Bane in a lane, so that's gonna be, I don't know, 13, 15 minute blink dagger
Yeah.
in the best case scenario.
Snaking feels like garbage right now.
I mean, he's not getting any CS. One CS, and once the Bane gets level 2, he can sleep him, then static link, and he can easily die from that, especially when the Razor get boots, and he already has one.
Oh, is Flea gonna go down to a... Oof. No. Is it Firo went for the 0-1-1 build?
It's kind of interesting. I think most of the time I see CC play this matchup, he goes for the
Dragon
1-0-1.
Yeah, I mean most people prefer that.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something new. Like Dragon Slave, you secure your range creep. Uh-oh, Snaking.
He's just getting kited.
The Muhammad Ali in and
And
out.
he's getting no luck on the moment of courage either.
Yeah, he can't really go to the jungle either because there's a Ricky. He
Yeah,
has
this
to be in lane to occupy their supports.
Well, Flea's heading to mid. Obviously, maybe do a handoff
Oh.
with Quap, but should they pull anyone
move
to that
speed?
top
Yeah, he
lane
has
or something?
range.
Oh, they're gonna go all the way in for it. Set up with a stun, a couple of right clicks.
That's big.
There's the pop.
Yeah.
Suddenly, mid lane's back.
Ugh, the phase boots soon. No boots. No boots Legion versus phase Razor.
All right, someone's got to go help him out. But
Yeah.
like the question is like how? I don't think Francis really like does anything in that lane either.
Well, if they overextend with a Bane being cocky, just trying to harass, they can get a kill. But Bane is on the bottom lane right now, and they're even using Ricky on the bottom lane to pressure it.
Well, this should give Snaking some space, at least to leech some EXP. We'll see what kind of move Complexity makes down bottom against this Clinks.
The setup seems fairly simple. If Damon's able to get close enough for the sleep, and then as Lacoste was alluding to earlier, they could try to fissure and Chant Totem, but the glimpse is there to pull them back. Smoke is not going to lock him in play, and it's all it takes. Stan King alone is able to fend them off.
Well, at least Snaking can get some XP on the top right now. He even has TP, which is pretty smart of him once he uses static link.
I think that was pretty impressive the way the Sand King reacted to that. Like, you know, when you see the gank setting up, like you could read, okay, he just needs a glimpse and take off the Nightmare, but he didn't have that kind of preparation. He still reacted perfectly.
Uh-oh.
I think he's fine. Like they don't have enough damage.
Oh no, with Yawar, looks like Demon's going to be in trouble. They simply right-click him down. Zephyr does have the dust on top of him too. They don't have a glimpse, but they do have a Burrow Strike coming in pretty soon. It looks like the Clinks tried to get onto the high ground there to try and shoot down, which means he's no longer in position to be able to get the last couple of hits until finally he gets it just in time. As
You
the dust
deal
was
more
about to fade
damage
away.
when you're on the high ground. Imagine throwing a rock from the high ground. It gets
True,
extra
true.
movement speed.
Gravity.
Get
Yeah.
that gravity pull down on the arrow, yeah.
I think Newton was the
Does
meta
it
creator
work
of
like
that.
that? Anyways, like, so how do you feel about this Ricky? Like, it doesn't offer a lot of damage in the early game, right? It's like they go on somebody with the Bane, and there's not a lot of follow up. Like they had almost the perfect setup on the Klink's bottom, but there's not enough damage between those three heroes to kill them.
Yeah, that's what I said during the picks. There's no synergy between these two heroes. I mean, what sleep into cloud, so sleeping in the clouds feels good.
I mean,
Got
him
him.
existing is always annoying. He's going to force supports to chew through sentries. Snaking can't easily just forfeit and go to the jungle because he does exist in the game, probably. So yeah.
I think it's just a vision hero, and that's good versus Team Freedom. If you think
Yeah.
about the way that Team Freedom have been operating this whole entire qualifiers, they operate a lot off of their smoke rotations. And you know, remember that play that I was talking about where they make a smoke rotation, but then they just sit there,
Yeah.
even if they don't see the opportunity. They'll wait like 20 seconds because everyone naturally thinks like, oh, I dodged the gank, I can go back in now. Like nobody just wants to AFK for 30 seconds in their lane trying to dodge a gank. So eventually they come back out, and Team Freedom, are able to snipe that. If you have a Riki that's scouting out these kind of rotations, then it completely wastes the idea that Team Freedom employ.
Well, you can pick Ricky and play 4 versus 5, or you can just invest the money into
Yeah.
obs and play 5 versus 5, which is more fair in my opinion.
Like this is I think while the Ricky does provide the vision, is like if you compare his impact versus the Sand King's impact right now, there's a clear difference.
Yeah, and Sand King, once he gets his Blink Dagger, that's a lot of less gold and gives so much more than even with Ricky with the Diffusal Blade.
Demon up to no good. What's he doing there so deep?
Just doing demon things, man. Just Jimmy things.
Running around, getting some wards down, being the pain in the arse, trying to creep him from behind. But yeah, Freedom keeping their support staff rotating between the mid and bottom lane. They're still just saying, yeah, Snake King, their supports are moving around. Just deal with the 1v1 for now. You will etch your way into relevance soon enough.
Yeah, this is the one bright spot for Complexity right now, is that Snake King is having the worst game.
Yeah, and there's a lot to deal with the duel even once that comes online, like Lacoste was alluding to during the draft. So his time to shine, it's going to be a bit awkward later.
Well, the thing is that if you're really far behind as a Legion commander, is not exactly the best catch-up hero. You know what I mean? It's like you're dueling someone, you're going mono-e-mono versus somebody, and you wanna do that when you're at least even. If you're behind and you duel somebody, it's like a pipsqueak going, I challenge you.
Yeah,
and
that's where
the giant just laughs.
Sonic Wave over your shoulder, hopefully, is doing all the real firepower for you.
Yeah, but once Legion Commander gets level 6, Bone has a TP ready and uses that pack, they can just surprise pretty much anyone on the map with it.
Yeah,
Because
he
they don't
has to
expect
go
them
with
to be.
Yeah, he'll have to
there.
be with people.
has
Bone
to.
needs to help out Snake King to get his Blink Dagger up.
Yeah, they won't help him in the lane phase, they'll help him when he gets duel. Oh, and Demon, with his Demon things, might end up baiting things and turning it around into a zap play, taking out Flea. Nice little blast there from Firo.
That extra hero. I think if there wasn't Moo showing up there, then they could have actually gotten a quick kill on the Bane and been happy. But
Nice timing around that 8-minute rune spawn.
it's also CCNC's build, right?
Yeah, if
not having Sonic
CCNC had Sonic Wave there, they could have blasted the Bane there.
But I mean, I think CCNC makes he looks at it in the fact that most of the time I'm not going to have the mana for Sonic Wave. I want to be more of a lane dominator, and I'm not going to make those rotations or those kill attempts until later on, like level 8, 9, 10. So I think he's just more focused on being able to do what he can to shut down the Lina. And that is like the big thing, right? Is that Lina, if you shut down Lina, then this whole entire draft falls apart from Complexity for the most part. Like this is their scaling hero. They only really have Razor
Yeah,
or Shaker. Those are more mid-game style heroes.
There it is, Lina with Clarity on and one more Clarity in the backpack.
Double OP, according to you. I like the thing about carries, just always having clarities, jumping from camps, keeping a mana supply available to him to farm with.
Yeah, it was totally worth it.
But CCNC is in total control of the mid lane. He has a Sonic Wave now. Snake King, it's 9 minutes in. He's got to be close to level 6, right? Okay, come on. Now it's time to hook a brother up with some dual damage and some money. The King wants to make his way
The
towards that
king
Blink
is
Dagger.
in trouble right now.
Oh, but the King
TP.
will probably have to take a knee, but TP, not going to be enough. Good rotation there. Hey, the Ricky's doing something now.
And no points in overwhelming odds as press the attack as our observer points out.
I think he needs it. I think he needs it now, though.
Yeah, definitely he's gonna pick the press the attack right now. Needs to remove the sleep, pretty much any stun.
Man's had a rough lane.
Yeah, I think when you have a rough lane like this, I think you need to plan your skill builds for the future in some ways and understand that you're going to be under-leveled. Oh.
Surprise, we have vision. Moving in to go for Zephyr. Can they burst him down with the
Oh,
arrows?
no.
No mana, no mana.
Turn around Laguna, though. Fira will be able to get something off. Get CCNC down. They trade lives, actually. Fissure out from Swindle, showing up from the bottom lane, and Mood comes in from the north. Lassoing up, trying to burst through, but Noir's gone.
CC
Mana
had
problem.
one.
Earthshaker
That would have been
had
enough.
totem, didn't he?
No, he had no mana.
He had Soul Ring ready.
Oh, wow.
He just used it as...
That's on him then. Just, you know, not everyone's
Cloud
as good
silences
as
items,
the,
right?
Is that why people hate Swindles? Because he's not using spells to help his team?
Oh,
He just has a history with items.
Teammates joining the hate club.
man, Earthshaker is so tanky. He doesn't even have the treads.
He is not even level 10.
Okay. Sure,
Glimpse
Stack
back.
Storm, but yeah, they glimpse him right back
Alright,
in.
you should be dead.
Yeesh. Noir hits pretty good now. They get a couple more picks. Another takedown on Nefiro.
Yeah, and like Cap said, that is the important hero for coL at this moment. Like, Razor's a great lane dominator, but it's hard to be a mid-game dominator. It's a little like Viper in the sense where, you know, you crush a lane, but it's hard for you to have a lot of impact in the mid-game unless the other team run at you to fight.
Oh, do they dare look to take on the
That's
Razor?
unfortunate.
Oh, they thought Ricky was there and Razor actually saw
Nighttime.
them. Well, once Razor gets that Heaven's Halberd, that item just dominates Clinks.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. That's
This is the item that pretty much dominates any carry hero right click. Especially a hero like Clinks who doesn't have anything else than that.
yeah. You're so focused on as Clinks getting this burst damage. You're like a ranged Ursa, right? Like you want to be able to focus down one hero, boom, 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 boom. I've killed it, and then I can go on from there because he doesn't deal very well with multiple heroes. So he looks to be able to get the numbers advantage immediately for your team. So that disarm is just completely screws the entire idea of what Clinks.
Maybe Snake can help out. Leech, come here. Purge that off. Oh, mid lane. Stacks.
Oh,
no.
Back. All the way in, and Demon's going to be in a bit of trouble. Goes, though, for the grip. Gets blasted with the Sonic Wave. Supports are going to be going down on both sides, it looks like.
That is 2 ultis expended though for Jimmy Ho.
They needed only one if they placed it successfully.
Oh, they might get Snake King, too. Nice stun setup from Swindle. Moo will chase him down rather easily.
Swindle with Blink Dagger already.
Yeah. It's a great thing about Earthshaker offlane. You just can't really keep his farm down.
Yeah, and it's hard for Clinks to really pressure the ES.
Yeah, this is what I mentioned. Look at Clinks roaming around trying to get a pick off, but there's nothing he can kill alone. Not a single hero. He needs to play around his heroes, probably be around Legion Commander to give him the dual damage.
I think in some ways Yawar needs to chill out a little bit. His kill attempts. It was good when he came mid, when his team needed him and stuff, but I don't think he should be looking for those solo pickoffs as Lacoste is talking about. Like his time is going to be more about like mid game when you're looking at like Deso and BKB. Like that's the time when you can actually kill heroes. This lineup from Complexity doesn't let you be the early pickoff that Clinks usually looks at.
They might be looking to wait for the Blink Dagger timing on the Sand King.
There's a echo somewhere on top.
Yeah, he wanted to disjoint the initiation, but he might get dueled anyways.
Oh, he got dueled. He's gonna be handing over some damage
there's
here.
Queen of Pain cleanup.
Oh, Zach gonna pop out. There's a sentry there waiting for him. Makes the jump away to Demon, but Demon can't stop him. Demon might lose his own life too. It looks like he will. Jumps in, move, finally sweeps in from behind, leashes up, tries to get a hold of Sinking and gets him down.
They got the Lina mid too.
Ooh.
That's huge because now Yawar's in position to just chip away at this tower. I like that move immediately makes the rotation over though. That helps save a lot of grief because that mid tower is I think it's the most important tower in the game.
Oh, they actually saw Jimmy.
Oh, but there's a TP top. Oh, okay.
This hero is so
0.6
useless.
seconds.
Oh, come on. He's a solo support there, man. Most solo supports there are going to die. This is a little dangerous, though. Did they catch a glimpse of Swindle Melons? They know somebody is in the area. Yeah, Flea is going to go check.
Gonna walk him back, surrounded by
Oh,
three.
Chemist Sanking. He's gonna die.
Yeah. Moo moves in. CCC has no blink and little mana, but they do lose Swindle. You are
dusted, my friend.
I don't
Bring
think
around
you
the Rosie.
juke. Oh, okay. Flea shows up, bails out his boy. Hits him with a sandstorm, and War's got the space out, but are they greedy? No, they don't want to do this.
That was a really nice turnaround of events for Freedom. Before that, they were pretty far. The game looked like it could slip out of their grasp just because Swindle Melons had such a better offlane than Snake King. Look at that. Snake King almost has his blink now.
Does have one dual win with the assistance of that top lane fight.
Yeah, he got 2 kills up there. The king is back, baby.
Yeah, look at this walking ward.
Ricky has to go into tricks of the trade here, but now he'll begin to learn that it feels like nowhere safe. Spotted easily.
Oh, come on, give him the duel.
Give him the dual damage. Come
they
on.
didn't give him the duel. Oh, Swindle Melons.
He's actually trying to get the epi and the stun off.
It's Echo Slam, yeah. It doesn't work against Echo.
Oh!
Yeah, that's why I said he needs to use epi first and just stun. He was in the range.
But nice reaction time out of him, actually. Blinks right before the duel goes off.
It also would have been a kill if he actually just right-clicks the Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he just needs to stall until the Legion's there. There were 2 right decisions that could have been made.
And 3 wrong.
And 1 wrong one.
One was probably do nothing, I'm sure.
Well,
how's Arlena doing? She went for 1 point in LSA just to speed up the farm with Fiery Soul. Talent, cast range. Alright, let's check the mid.
Oh my goodness, Flea's barely able to make it out, but it's going to be CCNC stepping in. Huge ulti will earn him the kill, but Moo takes one of his own here. And Freedom are going to reevaluate the situation and back off a bit, but Swindle's not done. He's trying to grab a hold of somebody. Can't dust it. Says, see you later. Just a trade a piece here, a couple of cores.
Yeah. You know, the Fiend's Grip went off for longer than 0.6 seconds this time.
Mind-blowing hero. Look at the farm on Bane. 5-0. He just doubled his CS.
Man, farming with him probably feels like the worst thing ever.
Well, at least he's going to max and feeble against Bone and Legion.
Ooh, there's early dust. They spotted little Ricky. Jumping in, looking to go for some free duel damage, but he gets the tricks of the trade, trying to stall out for his teammates to show up, but the duel's going to be there, and that's the damage. Yep. Who's here now, but Team Freighter is starting to get cute little picks across the map. And Snake King is going to start to take advantage of his infinite scaling.
And Sanking also has enough gold for his Blink Dagger. And look at the supports right now. You have Bane with Brown Boots, you have Disruptor with Brown Boots who's level 10 and has extra 60 gold per minute. And then you have a Ricky with Brown Boots and Gloves of Haste. which looks pretty weird though. And you have a Sanking level 11 with a Blink Dagger who can turn around.
I mean, that's
A
really
big fight.
the.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the story of this game. Is the Sand King is a hero that does things all over the map, and Ricky is very hero dependent on whether or not he has an impact.
I think as a Riki, you need to have a.
Super good early game, right?
I mean, not even necessarily that. I think you're always going to be a bit of a sacrificial hero because you're the one scouting smokes and scouting the enemy, and that naturally leads you to dying sometimes to dust and sentries. So you need a support that actually farms and scales. You know, like you need your 5 position to actually be more like a 4 or 4.5 position at
So you
least.
can basically pick a Beastmaster instead and have a hero and a vision.
Yeah, I'm sort of with Lacoste on this. I'm not a fan of the Ricky pickup.
Yeah, it can work, but you need to play around him. Have good heroes with good kill potential. Have a decent hero position 5.
Hard move in from Moo.
Oh,
But,
look at Ricky.
Yeah, they can't quite get it. There's a stack store blade out on top, but Ricky gets off the tricks of the trade, trying to run away. Snaking's going to be going down, while on the other front, blasted apart with the help of Firo. They're going to get down Stand King. Now hustling for some others here. The rest of Freedom will be able to TP away. But good approach from coL as they take down 2.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Freedom has made that move multiple times to the dire safe lane with like 2 or 3 heroes. This time, coL says, all right, we're not falling for this again. We're bringing every single one of our guys up there.
Is Sindles going for a Blade Mail build?
Swindles?
No, I think he's going
Solar
for
Crest.
Solar Crest.
Well, Blade Mail might not be a bad idea against coOp, Raptor, Sanking,
Sure.
also Bone. He can't focus you. There's a full halberd finish on Razor, so Bone's gonna have a hard time. That's 5.5 seconds disarm. I mean, there's nothing you can counter the Heaven's Halberd with. That's the problem.
Yeah, he just has to preemptively BKB.
Yeah. I mean, you can have Lincoln Sphere, but it's a lot of gold.
You
can
don't
really
really want
see
to
the-
build Lincolns on Clinks.
You really see the neutral change having a large impact on Klings. Again, I think you might be spending a little bit too much time rotating, but the combination of like you're using this death pack less, which means as a farming tool it's less effective, and then the neutrals being worth less, it really is cutting into him. quite
Yeah,
heavily.
when it first came out, I know Artur did not like this change.
Well, if Artur doesn't like it, we don't like it either.
I don't know what Fear would feel about it, though. Isn't this kind of the Fear build on Clinks as well, with the
I mean,
medallion?
they have like pretty similar opinions about this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Fear's a WoW player now.
Oh, shit. Condolences.
Yeah.
Lost him.
Lost him.
Lost him to the dark side.
I visited him his place in Irvine. There's just World of Warcraft on the background. I'm like, what are you doing?
He had a neck beard on. Oh, man, it was crazy.
He's just like, this is a nice chill game, man. I get to rest my arm.
Best nickname ever, Fear.WC3.
Feels like Freedom are antsy to try to make something happen. You're moving as a team. They find the opportunity to make a jump onto Demon. Long jump in. Going to be responded by Swindle with the fissure. Freedom continue to hold their high ground positioning and don't want to tempt things any further. Complexity still kind of at attendance. They don't want to push their luck.
I mean, you said Lincoln's is not a good item. It actually is, but he needs time to farm it. I mean, you...
No, I mean, I don't think it's
You'll
not something you want to build on the Clinks.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time. I mean, he only has Blightstone. He needs a BKB and he needs a...
He needs
Death Zone.
damage.
Yeah.
He needs Bloodthorn, stuff like that.
Anything else? Dakota?
Uh,
Daedalus? MKB? Skadi?
Butterfly.
Sounds good.
He will need an MKB though, in all seriousness, because of the
Cloud, probably Solar Crest on that ES.
Yeah.
Razor, Heaven's Halberd.
okay, well, we're going to see the first time coL are inching to approach into the high ground here.
Yeah, they might be just trying to force Freedom back right now. don't think they're in a position where they feel too comfortable actually going high ground.
I like that Team Freedom. Like, everyone's doing that play, right? Where they push to high ground to force the enemy team back, and Team Freedom literally just call their bluff. They don't TP back anybody, really.
Alright, smoke gank out of coL. See what they find here.
Well, like, if you're not going to come all the way back, then we'll just catch you on the way down then. How about that? We see you're not top lane anymore, but you're also not TPing all the way back to your base, so maybe they're trying to smoke them out here.
Stanley Yang, though, he's got a sense of these things.
He does. He's right in the trees. I don't think they spotted it. He pops out now, sees what's happening, glimpses back to Ricky and looks to make a bolt for it, but then suddenly everyone comes out from the woodwork. They actually don't catch the TP at all. He's gonna, get slapped the last second. Looked like he almost made it away, my God.
I was about to say, there's no way he should make it out of that, but Complexity almost given that opportunity.
Without that Bane,
He got him.
Bane stopped it.
The cost is no worse.
He's like, I didn't acknowledge it, so
Yeah, he
therefore it
stopped
didn't
the
happen.
TP with the Nightmare. Well played there.
Not many heroes that have a stun like that.
Yeah, well,
Not
Earthshaker
many
has a
supports.
stun, but
he missed
he
it.
missed it.
Yeah.
Need to have a backup plan.
This is like Lacoste's like. I recognize his tone of voice. It's like all these pubs that I played with Lacoste or whatever. When he starts getting mad in pubs, he uses this sarcastic tone.
Well, it takes time to actually understand what I'm saying. Either I'm serious or not.
That was...
Oh.
I mean, I understand the blink to the side. He's trying to set up for more heroes in the push, but... They had the successful scan on Ariki. He just blinked up and dusted and burrowed. I think they got a free pick, free duel.
Well, both teams are being careful right now because once they lose a fight, they have enough damage to clear the Roche. So whoever gets the upper hand can get even more with the Aegis.
Both teams playing a very tight game right now.
I think that's to... Is that to Freedom's benefit? In
gonna
some
say
ways,
yes
it's
and no.
okay. They're
I
not taking advantage of the non-Shadow Blade from Complexity. Like the fact that you should be a lot more scared once that item is up. But at the same time, I think they do need time to play into like 35, 40 minutes this lineup.
No, this is really smart. They see that Lina is just TP's bottom, so they just get a free Roche on. They know Lina can't be there. Probably a mistake from Furo.
Yeah. There's no reason you should ever TP as Dire to your tier 2 bottom at this point in the game, unless Roshan is gone.
So it's just a casual chainmail on Earthshaker, wants to go for the Force Staff. I think Force Staff is the item in this game for both teams actually, against the Cloud, against Razor Static Link, just to focus with Earthshaker, Lina, Bane, whoever.
What do you think about this non-Hurricane Bike build from the Clinks? Because that would allow him to be able to, push the Razor back when he gets Static Link, get out of the Cloud pretty quick. It's also kind of a stat increase as well.
I wanted to mention during the picks that the Pike is the item on Clinks this game, but right now BKB seems like a better choice to get rid of that Halberds.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's more about the fact that the game wasn't going well for him?
Yeah,
enough
well,
early?
depends how he positioned himself in a team fight, whether Razor gets focused, goes with the Static Storm and the Sanking. It's pretty much optional.
Right.
Well, who do you think their focus should be if 5-for-5 fight was to break out here? You feel like Moo would be like the big bad boy in the block, but Razor's not necessarily one you want to
Razor's
burst down.
You want
his
to kill
damage to tank ratio is like, it's way too in favor of tank, right?
Yeah.
Well,
If you look at
definitely
Lina,
want to kill the Lina.
yeah.
She hasn't even been with the team. She's just, okay, she has Swindle by her side as they try to split the pressure a bit, but yeah, coL I think have just kind of respected Team Freedom's 5-man fight pretty much this whole game. The supports and how much more farm they've been and how much more they offer in team fights in general.
Sadly, I have to say that Team Freedom needs to focus Bane in a fight. Because
Just so you don't have to watch him anymore?
yeah, because Legion Commander still doesn't have a BKB. Once he gets it, it's gonna be a lot easier because of the sleep on the dual target.
I really think Complexity needs to pick up the pace. Like, it's unfortunate that Aegis was picked up and everything, but you can't just let a Queen of Pain get to her level 25 with Mjolnir. You know, the BKBs, Deso, like, these are all key items for Team Freedom to actually be able to win fights and take control of the map away from you. So Complexity either need to find a way to choke Team Freedom out more and not let them be able to get this kind of farm constantly, or they need to just take fights against them, one or the other.
Yeah, even with Aegis, Freedom is not rushing anything because they feel comfortable going into the super late game, especially with Queen of Pain that Cap said. Also, you're playing against Bane and you're playing against Ricky, who's still struggling to get
He's
that
getting a Midas.
Yeah, if they want to fight right now, it's a really good time to fight for Freedom because they have pretty much two useless heroes.
Yeah, coL just feel like they're coasting. I understand that, you know, you have the Aegis and your kind of hands are tied in that kind of position, but maybe once that's expired, I don't know if coL are just going to have to succumb to being in that position where you're stuck inside your base eventually, but I imagine it's coL. They'll find a way to smoke and wrap around and get some sort of setup.
Well, of course you want to fight with Aegis, use it, but they had a hard time dealing with the split push, so now it's a good timing. Or not.
Well, Snaking is getting closer to that BKB. So maybe he wants that before they take that big fight. I mean, there's a lot on the line in this game. Like, Freedom was so close to getting that direct invite to TI. They don't want to mess this up.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
so... I mean, I'm happy that MP qualified, of course, because of Wiki Sama. I'll hold to that.
Ooh, nice punish onto Moo, pushing out in the lane a little too far from everyone, and now the support staff has been spotted waiting behind him, and it's going to be Freedom quickly to swarm in. They will end up losing Stand King as their first casualty. Swindles forces out the dunk on the other front. The Laguna going to be flying out here as they try to blast it home. It's Complexity losing more, and Freedom just kind of reclaiming the land. Firo, can he make it back out? It doesn't look like it. He gets him in the Shadow Strike, and right clicks come out. He will get the deny off, but hard loss for coL. It's very apparent that Freedom just kind of got the upper hand.
Yeah, this is the fight without Legion Commander.
Yeah.
That was such a cool setup, the way that they had Stanking up here and these two waiting to initiate over here. So once they get the primary initiation and kill whatever, and Stanking's always going to be able to wrap in and catch whatever. Maybe it's a Static Storm on 2 or 3 heroes, a Kinetic Field catch, or even just a glimpse for an extra kill.
This is actually amazing play by Team Freedom. You see Legion Commander was not with them, so Complexity thinks they're not gonna do anything, they're just back to farming, and then they surprise them with a big Epi plus Sonic Wave on Razor, just burst him down.
Yeah, Snaking has his BKB now. Aegis expires, but that was a big net worth swing for Freedom as they near the 10k mark.
Well, in the next few minutes, Rick is gonna become useful. He got 600 gold on Sanking, solo kill. That might is gonna pay off, so with the Diffusal Blade, he might actually change things.
You know, we'll see, but, you know, at that point, Freedom might have a BKB Legion commander join the fight. Sanking picks up the gem.
But
And you
this
said
is, I mean, like, what do even coL do at this point? They expended a little bit. I mean, Swindle at the end, chunking out the dunk, so they might have to wait for that. But, I mean, you can't just roll over at this point in the game and just let Freedom kind of take control.
You can smoke out and try and find a fight yourself, but it's hard as your vision is getting taken away.
Well, there is good genetics on Jawar, going for that Lincoln Sphere, which I talked about. That is actually good.
Good genetics, good hair.
Good to say, guys.
Got good hair
No.
too. Definitely.
Dude, that
cool
entire
hair.
family has great hair.
Yeah.
I wonder what shampoo they use. What hair gel do you use, Cap?
Got to be glue.
Oh shit! It's Bane. Blasted down.
Look at
First
the
out of
smile
this.
when every time Bane goes down.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess back to that Lincoln Sphere, he feels like, you know, they have a good grip on the game right now. He has enough damage, they're far enough ahead where he can just, like, continue to constrict Complexity's options.
Well, Z-Freak is tired of his team, so he says, I'm the carry now. Almost. Once he gets the Diffusal Blade, he's the one who's split pushing. Actually, Ricky doing something.
Yeah, but already Freedom are just here outside the base, clearing out the woods, keeping the lanes pushed forward. Yeah, bottom lane's pushed in a bit, but looks like they'll just send Snaking down there, and they've already shown that just because Snaking's pushing out a side lane doesn't mean they're not going to take a fight. So I'm curious if that means coL's just going to be extra nervous, or maybe try to move in for something.
This
Looks
Queen
like
of Pain
not.
is so farmed, 5k ahead of second top net worth.
I love
Once
that.
once she gets level 25 and Mjolnir, it's gonna be pretty impossible to kill with the BKB and Lincoln Sphere, and they don't want to rush anything. Once again, they will just maybe try to get the next Roche, cheese Aegis, and take it from there. Or if they see opportunity.
Ooh, smoke move in. You are leading out the charge. Right up to the front doorstep here of Complexity, where there's Captain Swindle waiting up front, and there's Captain Swindle getting killed. Here comes dual damage to sleep though,
This
makes
is
it
the
very
annoying
fun,
part.
long, and awkward. It actually prevents the dual damage, so there's that. But ooh, nice glimpse, pull back onto Moo. He's gonna be forced to bop the BKB. Lashes out onto Yawar to try to sap away as much damage as he can to try to make a safe escort back home. Eventually we'll try to turn around and fight while on the other front. They caught out Demon here, easily burst him apart. Z-Freak could be next. He gets off the tricks of the trade, tries to hide, jumps out, gets inside the base, but Snake King looking to charge on in. On the back end of his BKB, CC&C jumps in confidently, has to get purged out to run away, and the follow-up Flea Epicenter to hit it home onto Moo could help him get the finish, and it will. Sonic Wave also packs the punch. Z-Freak will end up going down, and it looks like Complexity could be shredded apart. The last survivor, though, Firo, holding things out inside the base.
This is just overextending from Team Freedom. They can just go back. Premature BKB pop from Queen of Pain. I mean, you know they have a shrine in a base, so that's really not a place to fight.
Yeah, honestly, that fight should have been a whole lot worse for Team Freedom. It was just
Yeah.
purely the fact that their BKBs were fresh. Like those two 10-second BKBs, one 9-second. The fact that they had this skirmish and still managed to kill the Razor is purely because of that, I think.
Yeah, the Razor got a really long link off, and I mean, the Bane got a lot of usage out of that sleep in the beginning, and it took them a long time to kill Swindle Melons. And this, are they looking at Roshan? Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
they are,
Shiva's
but
now.
no one is there.
Yeah, that's a Shivas now for the Lina. It's a pretty significant pickup. Like because the Clinks is going for the Lincoln Sphere, like right after, his damage output is you'll see a significant hit because of that Shivas.
If he'd gone for the Bloodthorn build, the armor wouldn't have felt nearly as good for the Lina.
Well, Bloodthorn is what? The cost of a Bloodthorn plus the cost of the Lincoln Sphere.
Well, I guess my point is like he's not going for that second damage item.
Well, you can't deal damage if you're dead. Unless you're Venomancer, that's what Jack said. Or
Yeah.
Lash.
Or Viper.
Alright, all the
Terrible,
Queen of
disgusting
Pain
heroes.
shows.
Jack's heroes.
stuff that Jack likes.
Okay, another BKB pop will be forced out here from CC&C to make it away from that
Well, good
trouble.
thing is they didn't lose the gem on a Sand King. Oh, there's gonna be a dual damage.
And they use that gem to get a dual setup onto Z-Freak, and it's successful.
He did not get a single duel win during that whole level 2 area of duel.
Yeah, it skipped right over from 20 to 38.
But that's, again, Freedom, that's the way they wanted to play it, right?
Well, I guess we can add one more good thing on Bane's list. Good against dual checked.
That
Good
wasn't
lane
the
bully
intention of
checked,
the pick,
that's-
though. Bane was
that's the
picked up
second
before,
one,
I'll see.
Oh no, Freedom! They have the high ground.
Oh, they're
They have a
pinging it.
shrine.
Oh, Jawar sees it.
Oh, they dropped the sentry, but he quickly just out the right click and gets the takedown right there. Laguna blasting out. They're fighting under the shrine. They're trying to use it as best they can. Moo latches on Yawar, who's going to be forced to run on back, but they get the stunt connection. Lina trying to hit it home, but Snake King, man, helps clean house. This fight belongs to Freedom here, with the exception of Moo. charging on in and being able to force back Snake King. But then Flea comes back in, hits up his own stun, and Yawar will be able to dish out the right click. And with the epicenter, this Razor is just getting mauled, but he's scrapping for what he can. Can't quite get a hold of Flea, so he'll end up being dropped. 5-man wipe. The Seafreak returning.
Just the impact from the Sand King versus the Riki. Like it doesn't matter if the Riki has a defusal. Just the Sand King is just
still Sand
so
King.
good right now. Almost got like it's got a built-in defusal in some ways with the slow from Caustic and the extra damage.
Built-in diffuser.
It's a built-in defusal, guys. It doesn't burn your mana; it burns your HP instead.
Oh,
what a
shredded.
hero.
My God.
Shredded. Yawar just decimates Demon.
Maybe he didn't even need to pop a BKB there. One more skeleton walks instead, just to dodge it.
Look at that. He picks up a Shivas. Sand King's got a Shivas.
Built-in Shivas. Oh, what a stun.
Nice setup here. The duel will come out, and that's it for Lina. She becomes dual damage for the King. And on the other side, it's Swindle, trying to frantically run back. The rest of his team already in the grave.
He doesn't let him blink using Urn on him.
Nothing going to be getting it over to Swindle to get it away. They lock him down with a kinetic field and then just hit it home. Moo's going to be returning now, but he's the lone defender as free to move in to take their first set of Rex.
Only Razor with a buyback inside of Complexity, so I guess, what do they have? 50 seconds. They can take two sides.
And the charge comes out. Sand King's not even bothering to hit the racks.
Yeah, because he can defusal it, that's why.
Complexity going to throw in the towel now. They're definitely going to lose 2 racks. Swindle probably still has the dunk. I don't think he used it, right? But I don't think they're going. I don't know. It's cool.
I like how you said, what is that on the table? Toilet paper. Now everyone is using it.
I'm not touching it.
Everyone's
I got a
sick,
bloody
man.
nose in the middle of a cast. What the hell?
Stop picking your nose, Austin.
Yeah.
It's the dry weather. It's not my nose picking. I nose pick all the time in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't get this problem.
Yo, toss me that toilet paper. I'll blow my nose too.
Just don't get all your goo all over here, please. Oh, move in. Here we go. Flea looking to take this game home. Gets the first immediate finish as Swindle and Zach going down. Duel going to be set up on one front. Firo trying his best to get it out on the other side, but they'll glimpse him right back in. This could be a swift 5-man wipe, but Firo is able to get the Shadow Blade away. CCNC wants to walk him back home, but this game belongs to Freedom, it would appear, as they go in for the jugular. Tier 4.
And they're going to call it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Jimmy.
Did they forget about that ward?
A couple more seconds, he would have been a profit. But they eventually do call the GG, and game number 1 of this best of 3 belongs to Freedom.
Did Complexity forget about that ward?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I was
They
blowing
literally
the ward.
smoked up underneath the ward, ran forward. That's why Francis literally was channeling an epicenter into a smoke play. He saw them smoke forward. He's like, oh, they're just going to move forward. I'm going to YOLO this epicenter blink burrow strike directly into the middle of them.
No, well, I mean, maybe
What
they
happened?
felt like they were super far behind already. You know, at that point, you already lost the racks. You just got to take a fight. You got to do something. And you know, that's one of those last desperations. Let's just smoke guys. Let's try to get something done. You don't really think about too much at that point. And Freedom, take it.
It's good for Freedom because after yesterday, I mean, to be honest, I could have seen Freedom just tilt themselves out of this tournament, just being so close and realizing that their matchup against Red could have gotten them at least $100,000 in an invite to TI. You know, that's hard to sleep on overnight. So
Yeah, but
and you're playing way late into the night if you're those guys.
I think like if you look at the way that Freedoms have been playing, like really disciplined, really smart. I don't think these are the kind of guys that are just going to tilt themselves out. You know, they're actually a good team. Like this
Yeah.
isn't like some fluke run or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see them cheesing their way to victories. Like I see like good, smart decisions and a really solid understanding of how to play this meta.
No,
That's
it's great.
true, and the way they pick heroes, they pick strong lanes, unlike Complexity in this game. You need to have heroes who do something in the early game. I mean, I said it few times, you see this hero is pretty much the garbage. The hero needs buffs. Also, combining it with Ricky is not really working out. As goes for Team Freedom, I'm sad that they didn't qualify yesterday. Good for MP, they deserved it, I expected it. But even if they don't qualify, I hope they stick together and grow as a team.
Yeah.
Just game one, though.
Yeah, I think it's super exciting for me to see Freedom in an actual BO3 now. Like we saw how they prepare for like individual BO1s, but now we get to see how they adapt, how they adjust to other teams' adapt.
Yeah, because I think their general style of play has been, I think, what are two strategies? Various heroes within, but I think it's pretty much like two strategies that they've been running. So I feel like teams, like we're going to see more depth out of Team Freedom as they adjust to.
Well, at least we hope we see.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'm sure somebody on Complexity is going to be. I mean, come on, they've got Adam there. He's going to see this game one. He's like, okay, guys, here's what went wrong, right? I personally would say that a lot of this was just like Complexity. What was that game where they had Moose safe lane on Venomancer, right? And he just like sat the in lane and farmed and farmed and farmed. And that was the right thing to do at the time. That kind of laid back style from Complexity was correct against that sort of lineup. But here, it wasn't the same. Complexity needed to get some fire underneath their ass. They needed to try and make something happen. You know, like again, they played it so laid back that they lit just the one mistake of Firo TPing to that bottom tier 2 and then giving up Roshan, and all of a sudden like the game's over practically because they don't want to fight into Aegis, and so we're gonna get our timings on Team Freedom, and then at that point they're kind of unstoppable. Like that shouldn't how a strategy goes, right? You can't just make one mistake and all of a sudden the game's over. They need to actually do something.
Sure. Well, with that, we will have game 2 coming right up very shortly. But we got a quick break, maybe some content, maybe something for you. But we'll see you guys.
Maybe nothing.
We'll see you guys
Maybe
back
you'll just
shortly.
blow your noses. And we'll be back soon.